We're here with Jake Ruger from Much Yu-Gi-Oh! With another deck profile. What's the weather like today, Jake?
It's raining frogs! Alright, so the main deck monsters, we're going to start off with Frog Engine, Tribute Monsters, Hand Traps, Spells Traps. Alright, so we're going to go right into the Frog Engine here. We got Triple Swap Frog. He's the best frog in the deck. He gets you into a lot of your big plays. He's, he pitches things to the graveyard. He can be used as tribute fodder. He can put Monarchs back in your hand so you can get replays in their effect. Really good card. We got Triple Consistency, your Treeborn Frog. He is absolutely what makes the deck really consistent. Bring him out each standby phase, get a tribute target. It's really good. You just have to play it if you're playing Frognarchs. We got Double Dupe Frog. The 2 dupe, it's really good because you need to get into your Frog Engine as much as possible because that's what's really going to win you the game. You can't win the game on Battle Faders, Soul Exchanges, and Enemy Controllers. It's just not going to work. You need to get him out. It's at any point in time, if you put him on the field and he's sent to the graveyard, you're going to be able to get into your Frog Engine. You're probably going to search a Swap Frog. Really good. All right. For your big plays, you're going to want to play 2 Rodent Totem because he's just, you can get him out, make big lad plays. He's small cost because frogs recycle pretty well. All right, so now we're going to move into the tribute monsters. Triple Caius, the best Monarch, obviously. The banishing effect really potent, and he's a good finisher because if you get him on board and they have less than or equal to 1,000 life points, you can just banish himself and then really get it going. We got Triple Ryza because Ryza is really good in this format. Bouncing those exceeds monsters back to the extra deck is really crucial at many points in time. Play 1 more Monarch, that's 1 copy of Mobius. Heavy Storm's not in this format, so you do need multiple ways to get around spells and traps, and Mobius does that for you. For the non-Monarch tribute monsters, we play 1 Dark Dust Spirit. He's board clearer, he gets things out of the way that need to get out of the way. It's just he's a really good tribute monster, there's not much else to him, and you can bring him back so you can just pretty much continuously just keep, just going through him. Just keep going through your monsters because you can get bounced back to your hand at the end phase. You got 1 copy of Jinzo. Jinzo's obviously really good because trap cards are a thing because people play trap cards and you don't want to be fucked up by those trap cards. So you play Jinzo. You play Triple Light and Darkness Dragon. Light and Darkness Dragon is probably the beast of the deck. He's Light and Darkness Dragon. He negates everything. It really messes up most of what your opponent's trying to do. Alright, let's move into hand traps. We got Triple Battle Fader. You need to play 3 Battle Fader because you do need some protection from attacks, and he's going to stay on board, so he's a good consistent tribute target if you can't get into your Frog Engine. Battle Fader, just a really good card. Also target for Caius if you yet again need to just inflict that cheap 1,000 damage. Another hand trap we play is Double Tragodia. Tragodia is he's really good in this deck. Not a lot of people play him as a hand trap because you usually don't have cards in hand. But in Frognarchs, you usually got cards in hand. I apologize, and it's just a really, really good hand trap. Also, level modulation to get into your XYZ plays. Next, you got Gores because you need to play Gores because you're never going to have spells and traps on board that are just lingering there. So it's a really good card because he's going to be live more than he would in other decks, and that's what makes him really good. Alright, you gotta play double Max C, because Max C is absolutely crucial in this deck. You need some kind of draw power, and while Max C is generic, it's still very potent. It's dragons and whatever you else you want to play. Alright, and then we go double Effect Veiler. It's you need some kind of effect protection. It's a really it's a potent card, and you can also use it as a tuner to get into a Formula Synchron, things like that to go +1. It's the only tuner in the deck. Don't do that consistently. Use it for what it's supposed to be. Moving into spells, we got 1 for 1. I like 1 for 1 a lot because it can get out that Treeborn Frog, and that's what you want to get out most of the time. Most consistently, you want that Treeborn Frog be in your graveyard or just be somewhere. And the discard cost in this deck is not that terrible. Sometimes discarding is good. You want to get some things in the graveyard like maybe Rodent Totem or another Treeborn Frog. Double Soul Exchange. Soul Exchange is really good in this deck. Monster removal plays well in this deck because you can get a Monarch and remove one of their monsters. You got Triple Enemy Controller. You can protect something with it. You can switch something to defense, and you can obviously tribute to get it back, to steal one of their monsters, and then tribute that for one of your monsters is the most crucial play you do with that. Really good card. in this deck especially. All right, so now the staple cards, you got to play one Dark Hole because it's Dark Hole. One Book of Moon because it's a quick play spell. You can protect yourself with a little bit if you're not getting into your Frog Engine consistently enough. It's just one of the most versatile cards in the game. Triple MST back row is a thing, and you need to get rid of it. It's just you need to play in this format because there's no Heavy Storm. Now, Tech 1 trap card in this deck, and that's Grissel Prison. It's from the new set Shadow Specters. It's a really good card because the effect is if you control a tribute monster, you can basically stop your opponent's XYZ and Synchro monsters' effects from happening, and they can't XYZ or Synchro summon for a whole 2 turns, basically. So you're going to summon up, I don't know, a tribute monster, whatever. Let's say you play Caius, right? And then you set this. As soon as their standby phase hits, you're going to want to play Grissel Prison because they can't XYZ or Synchro summon for not just this turn, but the turn after that, because the card reads until your opponent's next turn. It's a really good card in this deck. It's just, I think it's really good. It's a good stun for them. No one's going to see that coming. All right, moving into the extra deck. Start off with the lone Synchro I play. It's not the greatest extra deck, but there's some cards in it. So we got Formula Synchron. He's a good +1. Not going to play him that many times, but he is that +1, and you can go into a Gachi with it. We got, like I said, we got double Gachi. Gachi, it's a really, really good card. And no matter how you swing, it's just a really good card. He's pretty easy to make in this deck if you got nothing else going for you. Good frog defense card, as I like to call it. OP frogs to defense, man. You can really stall out with frogs more than you think you could. Let's go with double Slacker Magician. Slacker Magician, a very good defensive card that you can play in this, and that you play in the extra deck. It's just a really good defensive card. You make it with Treeborn Frog and Battle Fader, or double Treeborn if you got that going on. It's just a good defensive card, I think. Moving into the 6s, we got a copy of Gauntlet Launcher. Gauntlet Launcher, it's not a once per turn, so it's a good card because you can just get rid of 2 monsters basically in 1 turn, 1 foul swoop. Nice 2400 attack, 2800 defense, even beefier on that defense side. 1 Constellar Potomium 7, very good in this deck because you can start recycling your tribute monsters, or recycling whatever you want really, and you're gonna be able to achieve 2 6s fairly regularly. And that is my 2013 Frognarch deck profile. It's still raining frogs.